Hello, Haley here. Now, you could hear me whine and moan about the heat today, but it is summer as it is, so we'll just cover it briefly because we've got more important things to cover today. That's right, so it's literally really hot there, but then it's excessively hot there, and I noticed something. It's actually expanded. The borders of the excessive heat warning have expanded again somewhat from yesterday. So it's getting worse, Is it July? It sucks, whatever month it is. It's really hot. But here we go. There is severe thunderstorms expected over parts of the northern plains this afternoon and tonight. We have a moderate risk. So this shows up whenever the Storm Prediction Center issues a public weather outlook. So if you were to click on that, this is the page you'd arrive on, and you can actually watch a video from the Storm Prediction Center themselves. They put out a little thing. I watched it. They talk about there's a low that's going to be like in the South Dakotas and North Dakotas, and they look at other weather maps that I don't have a clue what they're talking about. So this is the area, and if you notice, significant, strong, everything's got an enhanced risk today. So if we take a look at the probability maps, we have as high as a 45% chance of severe wind. That would be winds that are 58 miles per hour greater, and then the black area is where we have a chance of significant winds, which would be 75 miles per hour greater, I believe. Don't quote me on that. In fact, it's probably even on the page back here. Yes. So I could just cheat and read what I had already put in there. Right, if I were more intelligent. Here is hail. We've got as high as a 45% chance of hail 1 inch or larger, and then the black area is the chance of significant hail that would be hail 2 inches or larger. And this is very weird to see this late in the season, I think. I'm not sure though. We've got as high as a 10% chance of a tornado, but in that same area because it's hatched, and so it's the black hatched area, even though you can't quite tell that, is a chance that it will be an EF2 or larger tornado. Now, if you're not familiar with the Fujita scale, it goes from EF0 to EF5. The Joplin tornado was an EF5. Small rope tornadoes that mess with your hair and just annoy you but don't kill you, man. That might be an EF0, I'm not sure. So if we go back to here, if you scroll down, they actually talk about the upper trough. So upper trough, I believe, is an upper level, upper atmosphere thing. So this is the upper atmosphere. So what we're looking is this area. So we start, this is the 1 day loop. So yeah, I don't know what the trough is, but you can see, okay, go back. You see the X, that's the vorticity maximum. Do I know what the significance of that is? No, absolutely not. Oh, and right, here's the lower atmosphere. This is where you get to see the L show up. See, there's the L. So that's where the low is predicted to be, right? And so other words in here, stuff like vertical shear, that's the change of wind speed and direction with height. So I think the point there is, like, if there is no shear, the updrafts and the downdraft is going to choke out the updraft because they're all hanging out in the same area. Whereas if you've got it sheared off, then the energy, it can be sucking up new fuel while it's still downdrafting somewhere else. I think that's not science. I don't know. Let's see what else. We've got low-level lapse rates. That's the change in temperature with height, I believe. The higher the number means the greater the temperature difference, I believe. And the higher the number means the more unstable the atmosphere is. The cap is this layer of warm air that acts like a lid. And if you hear people talking about the cap, what that can mean is, let's see if I can remember. The cap is this mysterious thing where it can actually make storms stronger, or it completely chokes them out. Like if the stuff beneath the cap, if it never manages to break the cap, then there's no severe weather. But But, the cap, if it's strong enough but not strong enough, then what it happens is it, like, suppresses the stuff just long enough so that when it finally does break it, it's, like, very explosive. Not literally explosive, because that probably doesn't fit the definition of explosive. Right, and full sunshine is, of course, one of the, you get the, what do they call it? Adiabatic heating or something? It means daily. I don't know why they don't just say, diurnal. I think that was the word. Daily heating. Why don't they just say that? So the sun is one of the things that heats, because the air or whatever underneath needs to be warmer than the cap in order to break the cap, I think. Anyway, let's see. What are the other gibberish words? Supercellular. That would be as opposed. That's when you get like little balls of storms on radar, as opposed to like a squall line where you get a big ass. Oh, did I say that? A big ass line of storms moving across. And when it's a squall line, it can have tornadoes, but the main threat there is damaging winds. So supercellular is where there's a much greater chance of tornadoes. Well, or there can be. It's much more favorable for tornadoes. There's the high CAPE. CAPE is convective available potential energy. That is a measure of how unstable the atmosphere is, or something. Is that right? I think. I have no idea. Right, you get blah, blah, blah. Vertical shear, yeah, it's potentially strong. Anyway, and very large hail will also be possible. So, hopefully, I've just distilled some gibberish for you, but probably not, because I don't understand itself. So, we'll look at it again. So, also, there's chances over there, but they don't have the significance. So, 45% chance of wind along with significant wind chance, 45% chance of hail, along with a significant chance of hail. And briefly, I don't talk about this every day, but here's what this means. So 10% chance, like where my mouse is, so that means within 25 miles of where my mouse is, there's a 10% chance that someone will see a tornado. And then I believe what the significant thing is that there's at least a 10% chance that what does happen is going to be a significant severe weather event. So tomorrow, right now anyway, slight risk over this area and over that area, and here's the probability map. So got the 5% surrounding it, and hurricane time, nothing in the eastern Pacific, and then 20% in the Atlantic. Will it turn into something? I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it. So, wow, I don't know where I accidentally zoomed into. So, here's one place where you can hang out today, Wicked Wix, wickedwx.com, and I'll show you another one. Let's see about here. This is if you are at weather.gov. So, you can end up, like, for instance, at the Aberdeen, South Dakota Weather Forecast Office, WFO. And they've, you can read stuff like the hazardous weather outlook, and, this is what I like to look for. Spotter activation will likely be needed. That's what I look for personally. And look, the heat index values are going to suck there as well. So here's some really excessively hot weather, and here's a tornado. Right. So anyway, if you are in the affected area, please, pay attention and make sure you've got a weather radio. Make sure it's on and has batteries or whatnot, or just watch TV all day if they're the type that breaks in the news coverage. Anyway, you stay safe today out there.